Well, the football season is over and the MPFNL, an outstanding season in First and Second Division. We had one of the most unbelievable grand finals you're ever likely to have in Second Division, and same in First Division with Dramana red hot and Mount Eliza were able to come over the top. But footy never sleeps on the peninsula because clubs are looking to get better next year. They're looking to find new recruits and they're looking to make sure that they're in contention to win a flag, in contention to play finals. And when it comes to First Division, when you make your way up like EDS has, trying to stay there, Langwarrin as well, Red Hill and other clubs that have just found it hard in recent years to stay in First Division. And when they've got their opportunity, they just want to be there. Mornington, another one. And of course, Chelsea would love to do what they weren't able to do in 2024, and that is win the premiership in 2025. Lots to talk about, and we thank our sponsor for architectural cladding supplies at Carrum Downs, Daniel Bowman and the team. Great to have them on board for our pre-season show, if you like, looking at the MPFNL. And it's a great pleasure to have my great mate back. He's involved at Mornington now. He's just become a life member. He's wearing his Bulldogs shirt tonight. The great Chris Holcomb. Welcome, Holcomb. Good to have you with us.
Thanks, mate. It's good to be back. It's been a little while, but it's just like riding a bike. You never forget, do you, mate?
You never. Well, I forget lots of things. I'm getting old, but I probably don't forget this, and you won't forget this tonight either.
No, we'll be right.
Hey, congratulations on your life membership.
Thank you. It was very, very humbling.
What's it mean to you?
Look, it means a lot. It's just, look, it put years and years of work into your club and trying to make it a better place. But you know, like people get so much out of footy clubs as well. So, bittersweet. It's good to be recognised, but still a lot of work to do, mate. But I'm enjoying every minute being back there. It's great.
Joint winner of the BNF in Second Division. He won the club best and fairest for a third year in a row by the length of the Flemington Straight. He was outstanding on grand final day. Kicked the winning goal for EDS when they were down to 16 men. Yes, 16 men against 18. We'll talk about that shortly. It was an unbelievable victory. We're talking of Kurt Lopo from the Edithvale Aspendale Football Club, who returned to First Division. Welcome, Kurtie. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Thanks for having me, guys.
And our other guest is the great man. He has played over 200 games at the Frankston YCW Stonecats Football Club, just been made life member at their BNF night last Friday, but he's heading off to the Hastings Football Club as senior coach in Second Division, and it's the man I call the grizzled veteran, Kev Lylak. Welcome, Kev. Good to have you with us as well.
Thanks, mate. Good to be here.
Now, Kev, we'll start with you because we saw this a few weeks ago in the socials, and I'm sure you saw it too. Coaches wanted, senior, women's, under-19 coaches, looking for expressions of interest for the following football coaching positions for season 2025. Contact Terry Green, who's in the picture there with you, or contact Dan. Did you contact them or did they contact you?
No, they slid into my DMs. They slid into my DMs and they contacted me through finals and I just said, I'm interested, but I don't really want to talk about it. I want to get this season over and done with before I think about next year. And then, we met it all went well and we're both happy with I was happy with where their vision for the club, and they were obviously happy with the way I presented, and happy days.
What interested you the most about them?
I think there's a core young group of them that can really play. They're about 19, 20, and about 5 or 6 of them that can really play. And having a chat to them, they're just that excited to get into it, and they probably just need that experience and that guidance to help support them and take their footy to the next level. Also being down the bottom of the ladder, that's exciting for me. I've always wanted to, coming through such a great culture at YC, it's always been a goal of mine to come to another club and see if I can recreate that culture somewhere else. It's easy coming to a place where you're winning all the time and to continue that, but a real challenge is going to be changing the path of this club and getting them moving up the ladder.
Hogs, they got a good one there, haven't they? Hastings?
It was great. I think there would have been a few people line up for Kev's services, but good luck to him. It's always hard with your first coaching gig. Just hope you've got a few good blokes around you. I know I was talking to you before. You got a good couple of names there, but very important to have that assistance on the side, mate. Yeah,
another one of the other exciting things, like they've got a new footy board and they're going on the journey. And I said to him, I've just got a promotion at work. Just had a kid a few months ago. Like everything's. I'm not sure if I've got enough time for it, but I'm a glutton for punishment. And they said, we're going on that journey for you, and we're going to be there to support you. So that's exciting. It's not someone that's been there for a long time and has said, "Yep, we're doing it this way." It's, "Hey, we put our faith in you. Let's go on this journey together." And that's probably the thing that got me over the line.
Ben Sedgwick being one of those guys who played a lot of good footy at Somerville as one of your assistant coaches will be on the bench. It'll be terrific.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been trying to get Ben away from Summy for years. Him and my wife are very good friends, and our babies firstborn babies are born 12 days apart.
Wow.
We went out for a family thing and sort of threw it out to him, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I'd be super keen for that." And he's a great person, and he's got a great footy brain. And one thing, like when Hastings asked me about, what does success look like? I said culture, and the most important thing about culture is getting good people in. And I couldn't think of a better person than him to help me.
Recruiting, is that going to be easy? Is that going to be hard?
It's time consuming.
It's the worst thing in football. It's horrible.
I've met with a few people now, and they seem like real interested. And when it's time to sign, like, you just got to think about it. Obviously, you know about it. And I know about it because I met with Hastings, and it was the same thing. It was, all good and well. And I met with a few other clubs, and it sounded really good, but you just do need to go away and have a think about it because there are big decisions. But hopefully sign my nephew. He's coming across, which is really good. You've got someone's going to help me with the backline coaching. He's jumped on to the under-19s. We're announcing him tomorrow. Hopefully got a few more in store. But meetings have gone really well. They really like where the club's going. But just got to see if they want to make that move.
And it's good news about the under-19s, Kev, because, of course, Hastings didn't have one last year. They made the grand final the year before, and Chelsea with John Simpson, a senior player at the Chelsea Footy Club, they're going to have an under-19s for the first time in a long time, and the Bombers will be back having under-19s. It's vital that we have under-19s in the MPFNL, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think, when you think about success, you really need those guys coming in from those under-18s, and it's hard to recruit, so you can't be out recruiting a whole senior side or your whole two side. So I think we've got about 15, 16 committed off about a week and a half of reaching out. So, it's fantastic, and I think we'll get a few more to jump on. I think they need to look at the points for the 18s, though, because I know what happened with Mornington.
Oh.
No, sorry, not Mornington, Bombers, when they're 4 points because they come from another club. Yeah. When they played 2 years at under 18s. Yeah. And I'm like, that's, when you got clubs that, are struggling for juniors, and a lot of clubs are struggling for juniors now, I think they need to revisit. And if they do 2 years of under 19s at your club, I think they should be like a 2-pointer, not 4 pointers.
Mate, we could do a whole night on that.
Yeah.
The under 19 system at the moment for points is just.
I'm stepping out of my lane, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
We'll get sidetracked here, Dan. Pull us back in the line. That's your job.
No, we'll stay in our lane. I was just going to ask Kurt about the importance of having a strong club across the board, which your club certainly has. I mean, your under-19s made the grand final, probably ran out of steam a bit, but they were fantastic. Your reserves went through undefeated, and your seniors dropped one game, the opening game of the season, and won 19 in a row. And your netball team's very strong, and you've got a thirds team, of course, that also plays in another competition, and they made the grand final. So if you've got a strong club across the board, it helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it helps heaps. Like our 19s and the reserves are so strong. They obviously won the flag last year, the reserves. But yeah, there's so much talent and so much depth. It helps heaps. And having a thirds is just like an even bigger bonus.
They've been that for a long period of time too, Edithvale. They've always had good kids, and you probably see it coming up through in that grand final win that they had. How many blokes are through there? They're 1-pointers. Then you can just sort of chip and charge around what you need, fill holes, as opposed to sort of a mass, like Kev was talking about, a mass recruiting drive. So, yeah, your street's ahead if you get that 19s right.
Is it getting harder to recruit?
Oh, yeah, it's not getting harder because I think people are probably more prone to jump around now than they would be 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's harder to recruit and keep within the point system because you've got to work out whether recruiting from a higher level, whether you play against them, how your points look. So you got kids that are jumping across trying to get a game against blokes that you're taking out of VFL, and they're competing on the same point. It's a juggling act. But that point's getting harder, but I feel people are more inclined to move more now.
Now, Kev, you obviously will be playing and you're in pretty good form at the moment. You had a pretty good year in regard to tackles. You're one of the great tackling machines in the competition, top 10 for the Stonecats, and you're also right up there with intercept marks. So you just keep doing your job. You're one of those footballers that just does his job.
Yeah, thank you. And you've got top 10 in the league for back 50 tackles. Just FYI. But no, I've always like, I think I made a career myself on playing my role, and I think that's why we were so successful all those years, because we didn't have 22 superstars. We had 22 players that played their role, and as I get older, it's just about getting the younger generation to understand it's not all about getting 30 touches a game. It's about everyone playing their role and being on the same page.
Boys are going around again for YC?
Yeah.
He is. I spoke to him on Friday night.
It's an end of an era. There's been a lot of all the old blokes have sort of filtered out of that strong YC backline that's been so good for so long. It's sort of end of an era.
Mate, Byron has wiped off 10 years. He's quicker than he was 10 years
Button,
ago.
Barry.
He had a lot of clubs show interest in him. He's going to stay.
Yes. I think I think it's all up to his wife now, having 4 kids. But he tells me he's got one more year, but he said that last year, so he's forever green, that man.
And are you going to miss YC?
Yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of friends there, so it was sad. It was sad days going in like the finals, last training sessions, just thinking, if I do leave, this is probably going to be the last time I come here for training. But my wife's still going to play netball there, so which I'm really excited about.
She's trying to get to 150, isn't she?
Yeah, she's trying to get 150 games, which she's only got a couple more to go. So that has that connection. So I'll still be able to, go to the functions, go to the ball, go to the presentation night, and still see those people, which is really good.
Now, Kev, you've had some interesting hairstyles over the years, as you can see on screen. You had the long hair, you had the hair in a bun. That's one of your children, I think, down there. The fourth one along. And then, of course, you've gone for the very short hair. So will you continue with the short hair now that you've got the responsible role as a coach of a football club?
I've actually got on my mullet at the moment. So jeez. Different haircuts. I think 2011 I had a home job, mullet, which was shocking. And then I just couldn't be bothered getting a haircut. So that's why I grew it out. And I actually cut it short a couple of years ago and spent about $50 on a haircut. I'm like, I'm never doing that again. So I grew it out.
$50?
Yeah, it was, And I had to get it done every 3 weeks. So
you might have a choice then, mate. You might end up and go to Dan's barber.
It cost $10 to cut my hair. I'm talking one hair. That's so much. You can't grow grass on a busy street.
There it is.
Now, Kev, just got some questions for you. You are married?
I am.
How many kids?
Got 3.
Yeah, little boy Zeke recently, didn't you?
Yes, got Chevy, who's 7, Jed, he's 4, and little baby Zeke, who's 3 and a bit months old.
And is he keeping you away?
No, he's pretty good. Sleeping pretty well, so.
Excellent. Like his old man.
Chevy's a good name. I like that.
Now, Zeke's a ripper. Yeah, I like
Chevy. I like Chevy.
Chevy's good too. Yeah. Excellent. Now, where do you live?
In Langy, just around the corner from Kurt and Glenn, actually, so.
Well, the 3 of you need to go and have a run, don't you? You, Glenn and Kurt.
Down at Hastings, mate. It's not far away.
I will give you $10 if you can get Glenn out for a run up and down that street where he lives. Yeah. What do you do for a job? You're a school teacher, is that right?
I'm a school teacher, so assistant principal next year.
Very good.
And I teach PE, but I'm moving into woodwork next year. So,
good.
Yeah, so wife wants me to be a little bit more handy around the house.
Very good. What can you make?
Nothing yet.
What sort of car do you drive, Kev?
I drive a 2016 Holden Cruise wagon. It's on its last legs. But
time for a new car.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's part of the sign on it, hey?
Yeah, it might be. Let's move on. Favourite food?
Lasagna.
AFL team?
Bombers.
Bombers.
Yeah.
Up and down, aren't they? And what are you scared of, Kev?
Funny enough, losing my teeth. I don't know why, I just am. But I played I only got a mouth guard about 2 years ago. So, yeah, it's weird that I've had a fear of losing my teeth. But
and you never had a mouth guard until then? Were you scared of losing your teeth before then?
Not in games, but just like, them rotting, I don't know. I had a lot of nightmares.
Now, let's have a look at the great man, Kurt. And, of course, on the right-hand side is his B&F win in the Eastern Football League with Bayswater in 2019. And Paul McCormack then went to coach Edithvale Aspendale, former Carlton and Norwood player. Played 14 games for the Blues Macca. He got Kurt across to the Edithvale Aspendale Football Club, and he's just dominated since. Now, Kurt, difference between the Eastern Football League and the MPFNL standard-wise, it wouldn't be a great deal, would there?
Oh, it's very similar in different ways as well. Like I found, like the Eastern Footy League, there was probably a lot of younger kids that I'd come across. But Mornington Peninsula, there's a lot older, and yeah, like it's both tough footy and very skillful. So it's pretty hard to say the difference.
Better uniforms too. That Bayswater uniform's rubbish, mate. You look much better in the Edithvale, don't you?
And we've got a lot of ex-AFL players that are attracted to our league. I mean, Hulks, there were a lot when you played, but there are a lot more now. Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, there's a lot more now. I think it's attractive. We're close to the city. It's a nice little location down here on the peninsula. People like to move here when they finish up, and not that far away. But I think the footy standard, it just attracts people. It's just got better and better and better, and I don't think there was any doubt. Those two grand finals we had last year was a showcase, and we had, 5,000 and 8,000 there both days. So who wouldn't want to play in front of that in September?
And Kurt, you had a year of First Division. You've had two of Second Division. What has been the major difference between the two divisions?
Oh, good question. The year we sort of dropped down, there was actually some big names and big recruits that went into the Division 2 footy. So the standard was really good. It was probably more the top 5-6 sides that they probably could compete in Div 1. But they would probably be the bottom few.
I reckon it took you a bit to adjust that first year because you come home like a train. So maybe that Division 2, that first sort of patch of the season took you a little. And you're one of the better sides coming back. And then this year, obviously, you've gone head and shoulders above.
Yeah, but there are so many close games, aren't there? So, I mean, you won all your close ones this year, including the grand final. Didn't win any last year. And Kev could attest to this. In First Division footy, a lot of close games. We saw even your loss to Mornington at the end of the year. Mornington stay up. It didn't really affect you guys that much, but pretty hard.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's back when it wasn't divisional, you'd get 5 games where you go pencil in for, that's going to be a win, and you could go easy. But now every game, it doesn't matter if you're playing the top or the bottom, it's going to be a tough game.
Now, there's some good pictures there of Kurt with one of the greats of the Edithvale Aspendale Footy Club, BOG in the grand final in 2013. Now, Glenn owes me a slab because he said to me, that's not Tim Bluey Mannix. And I've seen a lot of Tim Bluey Mannix in recent times. I said it absolutely is because he shaved his hair off.
That's a great call. It's the first time I've seen him like that, though. He's always had those dreads. I won't call him.
He got rid of them a couple of years ago, Kurt, didn't he? I think,
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
A great man, good player.
And he was a good player. There's a good picture at the right-hand side. And, of course, don't forget the book in front of us here. You might want to pick that up if you can, Kev. Thanks for that. It's a book that GameFace through Glenn, who does an absolutely sensational job of just a book of pictures of a magnificent day for the Edithvale Aspendale Footy Club. What's your most vivid memory of it, Kurt?
Seeing the whole side just running up when our skipper Nick and coach Chris were holding up the cup. It was amazing, and it was just awesome seeing everyone run up on stage, and you get that first photo. It's unbelievable feeling. Yeah.
Just before we look at Kurt's stats, I thought it was the most extraordinary grand final when you are down 2 men for 15 minutes in the last quarter that they found a way to win.
Edithvale in the last, they've had 2 of the best premierships that you'll almost see. That one where they came from 5th and had the draw and won in extra time, then come from behind at 3/4 time and won the flag. That was epic. But to win 16 on 18 with 25 minutes to go, I was there and watched it. I said, it's game's over. I almost left.
Did you?
Yeah, and then I couldn't believe it. It actually looked like at stages that they had more blokes on the field, Edithvale, the way that they structured up. And, that they played, that last quarter was just terrific. Amazing.
I thought Kev, the coach, Pendlebury. 3 or 4 times he's taken these unbelievable marks, and then he's punching from behind. Just his want to win the game. He said, well, if it is to be, it's up to me in the back half just to stem the tide. He was terrific, wasn't he? And then they're able to slow it down and get it back on their terms.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, I was on the boundary, and I was just like, my mind was blown how quickly the game changed. And I thought Edie were going to run away with it, and then obviously they got 2 people sent off. And then I was like, I can't believe this has happened. Chelsea's going to come up. And then you're right, yeah, Pendles is so strong all game. And then, yeah, I think when Chelsea got in front and then Edie just played the hillside to one-on-ones and then they just outran him. And, yeah, as Hulks was saying, I thought that they must have had all their players back on and Chelsea had less players because they just ran over the top of them.
And then they've left Kurt at the stoppage 10 metres clear. Hulks, what do you think about that? That was the goal that just about won them the game.
I've seen this bloke play enough footy to know that this bloke, he'd need to be warned. Like, he's getting scragged at every contest. No, you'd be tagging him every week. And, yeah, you'd be looking through the video going, how the hell did he get that far free? But anyway, he did. He's a good player. He gets free big times and finished off and... epic.
Josh Beard said in the commentary, and you have to be applauded, Kurt, it wasn't your day for 3 quarters, but in the last quarter you just had a crack at absolutely everything. Everywhere you were, you're like a rat up a drain pipe. You're in every single contest. You just play like every moment depends on it, doesn't it? I mean, that last quarter was unbelievable.
Yeah, you sort of you just have that voice in your head. Just like the last game of the year, especially, you just got to like keep telling yourself, just keep moving, keep going, even when it hurts. And yeah, even if you got a tag, you just got to keep pushing through it. And yeah, with 16 guys, we soldiered on. And as cliche as that is, we got the job done.
This is the MPFNL pre-season footy show. Thanks to Architectural Cladding Supplies, Daniel Bowman and the team of Carrum Downs. And we've got Kurt Lopo, who was one of the stars for Edithvale Aspendale and was the joint winner of the 2nd Division BNF with Joel Hillis, who had an outstanding year for Devon Meadows. We've got the new coach and former star of Frankston YCW Stonecats, the new coach of Hastings, Kev Lylak, with us, and of course one of our great mates, Chris Holcomb, who this year has been named and thoroughly deserved as well as a life member of his beloved Mornington Football Club. Looking, boys, at some of Kurt's stats, averaging 22.8 disposals, total disposal efficiency 63%, handballs, 7.6, marks 3.6, turnovers 4.2. You look at some of those, Hulks, they're pretty solid, aren't they?
Oh, his contested marks is rubbish, though, mate. That's the only thing that you're average at. Everything else is elite. Did they have anything above elite, or what was going on? No, look, that's fantastic. And what you got to understand about this is every time that you do analysis on Edithvale and watch it, and I know every time we've played him, we've sent someone to him. So, like you were talking about before with the grand final, sometimes they're going to get on top for a quarter or 2, but it's hard to keep the great man down for 4 quarters.
Well, Bryce Diggins was BAG at 34.
Yeah. Well, again, like you put a lot of work into it, and someone gets off the chain. But yeah, no, it's a testament to him that he keeps running out the games. It's good. Now,
Kurt, same questions to you as we've just had to Kev. Are you married?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
It's under the pump. It sounds like he's under the pump. I don't know.
Is that happening soon?
Well, because of the next question, I've got a baby, so yeah.
Oh,
it's been a big year, little girl, haven't you?
Yeah, little girl.
Is she not keeping you away?
Like at the start, I thought it was hard, and as time goes on, you realise how the start's actually easy, and then now is actually quite difficult. She's been up the last every hour on the hour sort of thing, so it's quite difficult in that sense. But she's good.
If you're going to get married, mate, can you try and do it around when you play Mornington next year and sort of take a few of the boys away? That'd be nice.
And where do you live, Kurt?
I'm in Langwarrin as well.
Yeah, Langwarrin.
Oh, everyone's from Langwarrin.
God's own country. What do you do for a job?
Carpenter.
Very good.
Oh, Chippy.
Glenn's son Jack's a carpenter as well. Two boys that work very hard, no doubt. What sort of car do you drive, Kurt?
Nissan Patrol.
Very good. Favourite food?
I like my pasta. Italian background.
Very good. AFL team?
St Kilda.
Oh,
St Kilda.
you poor man.
They'll get there. And what are you scared of, Kurt?
Oh, I haven't skydived yet. I'm sure that would be quite scary. But yeah, as Kev said earlier, that I had a teeth accident. And,
it's all about the teeth tonight.
Yeah, that is quite scary. So, but yeah, it does make you think about it every contest.
What about down at a nightclub? Have you seen him? That's pretty scary.
I have actually seen him.
Yeah, I was there with the great man. He got me in the other night. I drove a few of them down there like I did last year. But I was more interested in the band downstairs. The doof music upstairs. I think Kev was, or whatever he's got left, was wanting to let his hair down, weren't you, Kev?
That's my fear, Dan, if you're asking.
I sort of lost you halfway through the night. Anyway, let's move on. Let's look at some of the players signed already. A big signing last night, Kurt, for your club. Edithvale Aspendale, Jordan Gallucci, 26 games for the Adelaide Crows. He was joint captain of the Vic Metro team. Very good player for Eastern Rangers. He went across to the Waffle for a couple of years. What a big pickup he's going to be for your team.
Yeah, huge pickup. We're very lucky to have him. It's going to be great to get to work with him. Can't wait.
Yes, so great to have Jordan Gallucci involved. Gape Patullo Hulks is going to go to Langwarrin from the Coringal Football Club, and Coringal have lost a few, but he'll be a good pickup for them in the ruck.
That was huge. There was a heap of people in for Gape. He's a ripping bloke, and he plays good footy. And ruckmen these days, they're very, very hard to come by, and sometimes they probably go above market rate, so you can get one in, but he's a ripper. So Langy, you've done well there.
Kane McKenzie back to his junior club from Somerville. Have lost a few. That's huge for Pines.
He's a gun.
Yeah, very good.
He's got that much respect around the comp. You just watch him play. He does everything right, and he's a solid person too. So that's a great pickup for Pines.
And Coringal have lost, and I know I was speaking to Andrew Schneider, who was also named life member, Kev, former president, and he's heavily involved in the recruiting at YC. Was on tenterhooks about whether you'd get Lefty or whether YCW would get Lefty, but he has signed. Leaving Coringal would be a good pickup too.
Yeah, he's good mates. Went to school with Blake Malone, so that's where the connection there. But yeah, I think he was might have gone with some of the Coringal boys to Langy. I think it's hard when a few people are moving, working out what's best for you. So he's a ripper, so he'll do really well down there. He'll fit into the culture very well.
And Ryan Clark has joined his brother Dylan, former North Melbourne and Sydney Swans player, played in the grand final in 2022. Hulks, magnificent addition and recruit for the Sorrento Football Club under their new coach, James Hallahan.
Yeah, I really like what Sorrento did in the off-season. Floodie's there too as assistant coach, who apparently is a fantastic operator. James is very well respected around the league. But yeah, to get two blokes like that into your midfield, they've got a solid base. But geez, that's a massive pickup because he's fresh out of an AFL grand final a couple of years ago. So you're not that far away. It's probably with Sorrento getting that depth through their list. And I know James will be working hard on that at the moment, but geez, they've gone all right for a start.
Tell you are doing well, Rosebud. Lockie Williams, Nick Mason, also Miller Stewart, all from Somerville going across. We know what a good player Nick Mason is. We know Lockie Williams has played VFL footy at Frankston. Mitch White will play a full season. Another good player as well. How good are they going to be?
They're stacked, mate. They are stacked. So they've done a good job. They started off, you got to remember, they started off 0-3 or they were down 0-4 last year. So it was a fantastic effort for them to turn around. And you forget they picked up 3 or 4 or even 5 last year. Dixon was fantastic.
He was.
And to get those in on top of that, they are going to be right up there next year.
What they probably needed was a full forward, but of course the Cumming boys could play, couldn't they, down that forward ruck role. Stephen tended to do more ruck work, number 36, and Matt, number 27. Played more of that forward role, but they do need a legitimate tall full forward. Maybe Mitch White fills that role. Campbell Huswaite's coming back to have a full season as well. He was very good.
1 pointer.
Yeah,
one pointer.
I mean, that's very, very handy.
Yeah, Campbell's good. And look, they get Fletcher back too, who did his knee early last year. So
what about that?
Fletcher will be a massive addition for him. Look, they are stacked, ready to go. And Danny did a great job last year with them. So. Yeah, look for them to be right there. Well, they finished 4th, so they won a final as well. They'll be knocking on the door. Don't worry about that.
And, they've also picked up a few Cranbourne boys, of course, over the years.
Yeah.
Dixon and Carousel. And I've noticed that Jordan Bertrand is a good player at Cranbourne's going across to Langwarrin. They'll be rapt to get him.
Yeah.
They've also picked up Rutherford from Berwick. And we mentioned Patullo as well. Now, Lockie Gilrenoof is going to Somerville. Somerville were chasing a few others. I know they're having a good look at...
Is that for karaoke nights or footy?
No. That's for footy.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love Lockie. He's a legend. Has he been playing the last couple of years?
Don't think so.
No?
Oh, he was the guy on the
Yeah, the singing career, yeah. He won the
So
voice.
he's come out of retirement.
Yeah.
Play. How did his singing career go?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I sort of missed. I'm not on social media, mate, so I miss all that stuff. He can play footy, don't worry about that. And he's a really good kid. Yeah,
He'll be a very handy player for Summy because they've lost a few. Would you be concerned if you were Somerville?
Yeah, well, you lost quality players through. Lockie Williams, Moso's been there for a long time. Kane McKenzie's the biggest loss. So they've got a bit of work to do, but it's only early in the season. They can turn around.
Jake Haskett's come back from Rosebud to Somerville. And looking at the Bombers, who'll be in second division next year. Sam Glenn has moved from Coringal to the Bombers. Tyson Barry, another very good player from Cranbourne, well skilled again. He's going to come across to the Bombers as well. They've also picked up an ex-teammate of yours, Kurt, Zach Burrows, who was sort of in and out of the senior team, but he's going across to play with the Bombers as well. They were chasing Jordan Pomeroy, who's Sam Glenn's best mate, but he, of course, is going to play at Old Peninsula.
Yeah.
That's right.
It'd be interesting what Bombers do because it's hard your first year back into second division just to acclimatise. And there's always like Chelsea is stacked and there's a few sides pushing hard, but they've got some quality players, especially if Firatuku hangs around.
Fit.
Yeah, Grant, and then you've got Harry and Flex. So they're a really good side.
And now you've picked up Max King. Tell us about him as your big ruckman forward.
Yeah, we needed a ruckman. Bloomy's been doing a good job the last couple of years, and Hicksy, but they're probably better sort of in different roles. And Max just gives us that option of ruck forward. And his profile is at Melbourne for a while, for 3 years, I think he was, and then out Division 1 Eastern with South Croydon. And he seems like a ripper guy. He was, I think the night we were interviewing him, he was the last one to leave the function. So
was he really?
Yeah. So we should have some interesting times with the big fella this year.
So where would you like to play Hicks? Bloom could be centre half back, couldn't he?
Well, centre half back, centre half forward. Hicksy will probably chop out with Kingy in the ruck forward and swap through. So gives us a few more options where we were sort of hamstrung last year and sort of eked it out. But the guys did a terrific job, but hopefully Kingy helps us out. We'll see how we go.
And if I may ask, how's Josh Newman travelling? How is he?
Really good. You know, he's fantastic. He's going to do some strength and conditioning stuff with us through the pre-season, and he's all aboard. So he's been
not as a senior coach though.
Yeah. Him and Mac are co-coaches this year.
Okay.
So we got the same coaching structure that we had, but he's going really well. So
will he play?
I don't know. We'll leave that up to Newey to see how it goes. As long as there's no pressure on him from the club, and if he wants to. But at the moment, he's coaching away and he's doing a great job.
Now, can I ask you guys just for your view on the First Division Grand Final? Dramana went in as red hot. And that 15-minute period in the second quarter, I thought this is going to be one-way traffic. Mount Eliza took it up to them early, and then Mount Eliza to me were just too young and too quick in the end, Hogs.
Well, the only thing is, if anyone's going to work out a way how to beat Dramana, it's going to be RJ, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So he's
a great coach, isn't he?
He's a legend, yeah. And we said that at the start. The most dangerous thing was Mount Eliza getting RJ and sort of getting it together. And they took a bit because that first final that YC, you guys beat them. I thought your pressure was unreal that day, and really closed them down. And from that game, I couldn't envisage them beating Dramana 3 weeks later. Not a chance. So great effort from the coaching group, great effort from the playing group to be able to turn that around and produce what they did on grand final day.
You beat them up on that. When I say beat them up, you beat them up physically in regard to your pressure around the contest. But Darren Mears said to me at the BNF night on Friday night, he said that we were probably cooked in the second half and then cooked for the rest of the final series. As a player, Kev, at YC, do you think that was right?
Yeah, definitely. Like in the last quarter, like we probably kicked a lot of points in the third quarter, all over the top. But in the last quarter, I definitely felt them coming. And luckily enough, probably our more experienced players took control of the game and just played a bit of keepings up, slowed the game down, wound down the clock. So, you know, if there's another quarter to play, I think Mount Eliza probably would have run over the top of us. And then, so a bit sore, and then losing. I think we lost 3 guys within the second quarter against Dramana, and then from there, you know, we lost Byron Barry, who's a huge voice and leader in our team, and we sort of just had to move people around structures went off, and we probably just lacked voice on the ground for that Dramana game. Like, injuries were beaten up, and then we're pretty confident going into the Mount Eliza game, going off the game that we played. But they came in red hot, and they did exactly to us what we did to them in the first round. But I think what worked well for Mount Eliza is they played obviously 3 tough games of footy. Like they'd been beaten. They had that chance to turn it around. They played a really tough game against Rosebud, and then they had an easy game against us. So they probably came into the grand final feeling fresh, where you look at Dramana's run, and they had a hard game against us, and we drew with them during this season. And I think they played 3 of the bottom sides where they absolutely blitzed them. So they probably didn't have that pressure. And then when they played us in the first final, we may as well be in the bottom side, because the way that we played, we didn't apply that pressure. So they probably weren't battle ready compared to Mount Eliza. And then, anything can happen in the last game. And I felt Mount Eliza's pressure was so good in the last quarter. And Dramana played really well as well. But Mount Eliza were a bit.
That was Gerolami's game. How's Gerolami's game?
Oh, no,
he could be drafted. There's some word that he might be drafted.
I heard that from a Mount Eliza guy. I don't know whether it's not Mount Eliza getting carried away, but make no mistake, he's elite. He had an amazing final series.
He didn't win the medal. Went to Chris Carey. It was probably touch and go a bit.
You won't see him next year. Richmond or wherever he's going to play.
No, he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, elite.
What did you make, Hulks, of Mount Eliza winning all 3? Were you delighted? Were you?
I was wrapped, mate. I was wrapped. We keep it this way. I've got a lot of good friends. I always say this at Mount Eliza. So, and hats off to them. I'm always there to pat them on the back, to do a good job. And that was, I didn't expect them to win, and they were fantastic. So they thoroughly deserved it.
And just before we go, another club co-coaching is Devon Meadows. Dean Kent is retired. He co-coached with Ryan Hendy, which I think is the right way to go. They had enough talent, Devon, and they just blew it in the finals. They were pretty ordinary.
Have they re-signed or... They re-signed their players, or have they picked up anyone, Re-signed? Battle?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not sure about Ryder.
No, I don't think Ryder will be there.
No, he's probably at the end. He's been a good... Just a comment from you, Kurt, about having someone like Paddy Ryder playing in the competition and playing against him as well.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like to have that in the competition's unbelievable. It's like having Ty in our team. You can sort of. I think teams rely on those sort of guys, and it's not only that. It actually gets people to come down and actually watch and support. I think it's great.
I didn't get a chance, Kurt, to talk to him in Roaming Dan, which is up on the socials, and I also did something from Mount Eliza as well. But how was Ty feeling? Was he nervous? Did anyone talk to him after the game about how he's feeling on the ground, knowing he couldn't come back on? Obviously, Isaac Bashir, I think, was a bit unlucky with his penalty going off. It was just I thought a sling tackle more than anything else. But how was Ty feeling about it all?
Oh, I didn't obviously I was out on the ground, so I didn't get to speak to him. But after the game, I think they probably would have been quite nervous. But at the same time, we just kept fighting, and we had the team to just keep fighting, and we had our quick guys. We had Reece. We wanted to try and isolate, and we just managed to just soldier on. So
And when does pre-season training start? I've got a feeling you already started running. You've started running. You don't need to run because you'll just be a coach. But when does Mornington get underway?
We've had a group of about 25 that have gone through. They do 1 or 2 nights a week on their own and roll it in. So our kids have been fantastic, but officially back, I think, November 9.
What about your team, Kurt?
Everyone does their own little bit, and we all post it into our groups and things like that, and we'll try and stay fit. But I think we all get together around November, some stage,
How about you, Kev? You got a lot on your plate.
We did pencil in the 11th November, but I've discovered today that I'm away on camp.
Good start, mate.
Maybe Ben could do that.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to speak to Terry on the way home and suss out that whether we start a week later or. Yeah. But it would be good to be there for the first session. So I think we might try and start the week later.
Very good. Well, boys, thanks so much for joining us. It's a great pleasure to have a chat about footy. It never stops. There's still going to be a lot of recruiting going on. Lots of clubs still having a good look at. We're looking forward to the next season already. It was a wonderful 2024 season. Mount Eliza winning their first flag for 19 years. EDS winning their first for 11 years. They pulled off a miracle win, but they're the best side of the year, winning 19 in a row, and they go back up. Frankston Bombers go down. And we thank Architectural Cladding Supplies, our sponsor of this show. Daniel Bowman is the man. He looks after it all, and they're at Carrum Downs. Enjoy the off-season, Kurt. Good luck in the pre-season. Good luck with Hastings, Kev. We'll no doubt chat again. Good to see you, Hulks.
You too, mate.
We'll chat no doubt during the summer. Thanks so much for joining us on the MPFNL Footy Show for Architectural Cladding Supplies.